What up, Twitch World? How are we all doing today? Hope you've all been having a great weekend. We are here again with the Secondhand Chat Show. Because we are doing a chat show stream, please don't use any sound alert redeems because they won't work when we're on the chat show screen. It's just a waste of your channel points. Also, where we will be focusing on the conversation with our wonderful guests, I probably won't do too much like replying to chat. I will try and talk to chat in chat as opposed to doing it audibly. I will encourage my guests who are, or if they want to also join in with chat in chat, but obviously that is up to them. I get that there's a lot to focus on when you're doing these things. Yeah, that's pretty much all the housekeeping we've got to go for, really. So let us introduce our wonderful guests. We have we have the rather fantastic We Two Are Venom. Venom, how you doing today? We have the incredibly delightful Outcast Chris. Chris, how you doing today? Doing pretty good. And we have the ever delightful Little Pumpkin Spice. Megan, how are you doing today? Good. Cool. So, to start things off, we've got a little interview with each of our guests. And then after, they can each ask me a question, because it wouldn't be fair if I didn't get interviewed as well. So we'll start off with Venom. Venom, firstly, I want to talk to you about your streamer workshop, because frankly, I think it's a wonderful thing that you've been doing. So can you tell people sort of what it is and what made you want to start it?
Get over here!
Can't hear your guess summary. Oh, I did. Before we start. Hey everyone, we're going to do a chat show. Oh, actually, the other thing I was supposed to say before we started, we have a redeem on this channel for cocktails, where you can redeem a cocktail based on yourself or a video game character we're playing. Obviously, guys, I couldn't just give you a free cocktail because you'd have to redeem it at some point yourself. I'm aware, Chris, you've already had one. So what I've been doing for the chat shows is I take one ingredient based on each of you, and I use that to make my chat show cocktail. So what we have today is we've got, Venom, obviously based on like the Marvel Venom, right? Who is well known for eating people alive. You know what else eats people alive? Kraken. So we've got a shot of Kraken rum. Like Megan, obviously, Little Pumpkin Spice, you think that's an easy ingredient to figure out. Glitch Ray, thank you for getting over here and joining in the fun. Much appreciated. Brandon Harleycon, also thank you for the follow earlier. I just totally... We were having tech issues and I'm really sorry I missed that. And thank you everyone who's contributing to the community challenge. Yeah, Little Pumpkin Spice, you think, that's an obvious ingredient. But to that I say, where am I supposed to get something pumpkin flavoured at this time of year? So what I've gone for is creme cassis, because that's super purple, and purple is a really big aesthetic on your streams. So creme cassis is purple, and it's sweet, just like Megan's streams. And then, as we've already got the Outcast Chris cocktail, which is cider-based, I've then filled it up with Strongbow Dark Fruit. And then that's the cocktail for this stream, which I'm calling the Little Outcast Venom. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Nah, it's that name.
Right, anyway, so we're gonna have a chat. We're gonna have a chat show. We're gonna start off with doing a little friendly interview with Venom. And we'll all pretend that I haven't already asked the question for continuity's sake. But Venom, I wanted to talk to you about your streamer workshop because it's a really cool idea you've got. Can you tell people what it is and what made you start it?
Yeah, for sure. First, I think we've all been in a position where we start out, we don't know what to do, we're trying to figure things out time and time again. The 100-hour, what it feels like is 100 hours worth of YouTube, I like to compress in my head here and help people who are just now starting get to a point where they feel comfortable with their streaming. So we hold workshops. Now, the last couple of weeks I haven't had it, I've been doing some IRL stuff. But we're going to get back on that, where every Wednesday night we sit in Shady Joker's Discord and ask and answer questions. If you're starting up, if you've been streaming for 6 months, a year, 2 years, anything that you want to improve and or collab with other creators, you hop in and learn. You just learn.
Sorry, I've accidentally just made it big on Megan. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. I was trying to turn everyone's volumes up because someone said they were quiet. Carry on.
Hide the DMs. Hide the DMs.
Yeah. Sorry. All fixed. Okay, sorry, carry on.
Just, I like personally helping people get to a point where they feel comfortable with their streams. So like I said, whether you're a new streamer, have been streaming for a while, consider yourself a veteran streamer, it's cool to get into a group chat with other content creators and collab and get ideas. I've learned more in 3 or 4 workshops than I thought I would have ever learned in something like that. But it's cool to help people who are new, who don't know what to do or don't know what bots to download or how to set up soundboards or things like that. It's cool to help them get to a point where they really feel comfortable with their streams. I find it really enjoyable to help people grow within themselves on their platform, as well as feel more comfortable in their shoes.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. Like I say, I think it's really good, and if anyone ever need help with stuff, Venom is definitely the person to ask. He is great sort of source of knowledge, and bringing people together to do that is, I think, a really great idea. So I remember you talking at the beginning of this year about how you wanted to move your channel away from like multiplayer shooter sort of games and focus more on like single player story games. What made you come to that decision?
I think I want to be more well-rounded as a streamer. Now I kind of struggle with that. I think most content creators struggle with streamer identity. Who do you want to be? What kind of content do you want to put out? And I found myself in a box with multiplayer. I don't always want to be the Warzone guy. I don't always want to be the Apex guy. I want to be the guy who can play a story, who can tell a story while playing a story. Multiplayer games tend to take you away from chat. So I want to have a good mix of multiplayer where I can play games with my community, as well as single player where I can just sit back, relax, talk, get to know people, and create a really positive environment that way.
Awesome. And then finally, what's my thing? Do you want to tell people about how you accidentally became a shiny Pokemon hunter for a week?
Yeah, that's a problem. So, long story short, essentially what had happened, we got to the end of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, and a buddy suggested to me to get a shiny Dialga. Didn't think it would take that long, told me to try it, decided to make streams out of it, turned into maybe 2 or 3 weeks of me just constantly for 3 hours at a time resetting Brilliant Diamond. We got up to 2,000 resets for people who do this normally. That's not a ton, but 2,000 resets later, I still never got my shiny Dialga, and I refused to finish the game at that point. But, it was fun. I had a lot of really fun conversations. I met some new people while doing it, but I never could get that shiny Dialga.
It will forever haunt you to this day, like the shiny Dialga that got away.
It will.
Oh, I had a lot of fun watching it. It's just like, yeah, we're just doing this casual play, and then it was just like, right, now we're shiny hunting Dialga forever. That was great. Cool. So, do you have a question for me?
I'm a little older. You and I are both fathers at this point,
Mm-hmm.
so I had a little bit of an outside stream question for you.
Sure.
I want to know what your favorite part about being a dad is so far.
My favorite part about being, I mean, there's so many things. I think genuinely just like watching Lyra like grow and develop is really cool. Like learning like all the new things that she's sort of learning is really like fun to see. Like she at the moment she finds her feet really interesting. Spends a lot of time, especially if she's got no trousers on, like she'll just sort of like hold her legs in the air and like grab her feet and curl up in a little ball. It's really fun. She's just started like in the last couple of weeks doing like baby talk, so there's lots of like rah 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 rah. Interesting thing, like we didn't get to see the latest Spider-Man film at the cinema because it came out a week after she was born. And it's just come out, and we brought the Blu-ray like straight away. We're like, right, we're finally going to get to watch Spider-Man all the way through the film. She's ow, 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 ow. I'm like, God, I love you, but shut up! Like, come on. But it's great. It's really fun. I managed to make her do her first giggle the other day, and that's just like the most amazing moment. And So things like that. I just love watching her learn new things. Like the fact she can bottle feed herself now, like it's insane. Like she's so cool.
Yeah, I love it. Love it.
Cool. Right, so let's move on to Chris. Howdy. So you're on a similar vein to what we're doing today. Your newish thing for streaming, I guess you started at the beginning of this year, maybe end of last year, is doing the Wanted Streaming podcast, which I have actually had the honour of being on. So people go and check that out on Chris's YouTube. But what made you want to start doing a podcast?
Well, honestly, it actually comes down to quite a few things. It's a case of I really do enjoy like the concept of community on Twitch. Like when I first saw streams and saw streamers actually go into each other's chats and talk to each other, you just see them continuing like running jokes or something like that onto like each other's channels. I thought to myself, wow, that is amazing. And I thought to myself, while seeing all that's really helped me push like wanting to stream in the first place. But I always had that plan to have more collaboration in it, to like sure other people get the recognition that they deserve, like the good people. So as a result, I thought to myself, well, I mean, I feel like if I were to ever get to a point where I was confident enough, I could start a podcast. The thing is, like, there's a stream team that I used to be on, and they did a podcast for their members. I was so close to being on one myself, but I narrowly lost the votes for it. I thought to myself, well, if I'm not going to be able to be on their podcast, I may as well start my own.
Absolutely.
I didn't manage to do that until December, actually. So I started in December. I thought to myself, well, I can't just start a podcast and not have some plans in advance. So I created a list of all the streamers that I would love to have on it, and I just tiered them in the levels of availability. And so, yeah, like, I just thought to myself, I want to learn more about streamers and their times as streamers, because every story is different in life, and especially when it comes to streaming, you don't know if one person's starting because of one reason or another. So that's why I thought to myself, let's start this podcast, so let's see how it goes. And then I made the last minute choice to upload them to YouTube. And yeah, I've done 4 if I can count. Yeah, I've done 4 so far.
Yeah. I think they're really good. People should definitely check out Chris's podcast. How much do you think streaming certain games has affected how you stream? With the likes of doing, your streaming of Red Dead Redemption 2 has very much leaned into you becoming Cowboy Chris and stuff. So how much do you think the games you play has sort of affected your streaming?
I think in terms of the streaming itself, they've just been the same where I stream what I want to stream. When it comes to like how the streams go, it has certainly made quite a significant change in that regard, because like you said, Cowboy Chris, like at one moment I just thought to myself, screw it, I'll put on a cowboy voice while playing Red Dead 2, and then that became a Teleport Redemption. I even got a cowboy hat, I'll show it.
Yeah, he's brought a cowboy hat to he's really commits to Cowboy Chris, it's great.
Yeah, oh good. If I can get off everything, I can show you. There we go. Cowboy Chris. Yeah. So
I feel like now
just one of them.
I was gonna say,
I can just talk like this anytime I've got the hat on. Normally for 5 minutes, but sometimes it just comes out after playing the part. And like that was just one example. Another example, which is more recent and more frequent, is the duck.
Oh
like,
yeah,
the concept.
your stream has been taken over by
to
ducks.
anyone who doesn't know, I have like 5 emotes associated with ducks. And the reason why is because there's a quote in Call of Duty Zombies, which is one of my main games which I stream, which has the quote, I am that duck from a British scientist kind of guy. Yeah, after that, like I've got that as a sound alert, and Nebby loves that sound alert. Like every time Nebby comes in, he'll play that sound, and it got to the point where I thought, so just make duck stuff, and I got a resounding yes. So we got the cowboy duck, we got regular duck. Duck Rage is an animated emote, like, and we've basically got an entire duck pond right now going on.
Yeah, and your Discord is constantly filled with like duck memes.
Yeah, like if you want to say hello, you just put a duck gif thing, something like duck yeah or what the duck, and yeah, like I think like in terms of like games that I've played, they have certainly changed the way that I go about streams. Even if the formula is the same, what's in the formula has been very much different throughout the year and a bit that I've been streaming.
Cool. And then finally, and you might well see this coming, as you've been told the last question is always a silly question. But as we've got like 2 American friends with us, why does lemonade make you so angry?
Oh my God's sake! Because lemonade is fizzy. I've got proof, historical fact, that when lemonade, the US lemonade, was first created, it was not referred to as lemonade until after UK lemonade was invented. So, I mean, I don't know if the sources are correct, but lemonade is fizzy, and to anyone who denies it, you're wrong, in my opinion.
Basically, just to fill you in, there's like literally every American streamer I've ever seen Chris in the chat hole, he started an argument with them about lemonade.
Not just lemonade. Like recently, I had one about Jaffa cakes. Because
a Jaffa cake's different in America.
Yeah, I don't think they have Jaffa cakes in America, but Icy Brit, who is an American streamer, I was in a stream with a bunch of fellow UK residents in a community. Mm-hmm. And we got into the subject of Jaffa cakes. Are they cakes or are they biscuits?
Losey Pop, thank you for getting over here and joining in the fun.
I always say Jaffa cakes are cakes because there's an actual court case around it, saying that they had to be legally defined as cakes.
Wow.
And, then a meltdown started over saying like everyone saying no, they're cookies or they're biscuits, and I was like, and then I actually at one point misworded it, saying, "Have you ever had a soft cookie before?" And when I meant spongy cookie, because Jaffa cakes are spongy, and soft cookies are actually a thing.
Yeah.
They just yelled, "Yes, of course I have, Chris." So basically, the moral of the story is
don't talk to Chris about
get
food.
into a conversation with me about British culture because it's chaos.
I mean, that has brought up actually another one, hasn't it? Because obviously in America, like all biscuits are cookies, whereas here, cookie is a type of biscuit.
Yeah, and the closest thing that we have to American cookies are scones, but in the US they are savoury, and in the UK they are sweet.
Yes.
Education with Chris and Chris.
Chris, so do you have a question for me?
Yes, so you brought up my just streaming podcast, which I do monthly, and you said that you yourself have been a guest on it.
Yes.
And my question is, because my podcast came out in December, and if I recall correctly, I think that yours came out just before or just after it.
So
my question is, what was your inspiration behind making a chat show with not one but 3 guests on them?
Well, in the original idea, it actually was going to have 4 guests, but when I did the first one in December, one of them, like on the day, was sort of saying, "Actually, I can't be on it. I've got a really bad mental health day," and I was like, "Oh, no worries. Of course, obviously, don't worry about it." And then, so we did it with 3, and then I was like, actually, this ran to exactly the perfect time that I sort of wanted it to, like the 2.5 hour mark, and if we'd had the extra guest, it would have been too long. So from then on, I was like, right, well, we're going to do it with only 3. But the influence for doing it, because I've been talking about doing a chat show for almost since last summer. I really wanted to do it. There's actually a show called As Yet Untitled. I don't know if you've ever watched it. It's on Dave. but it's Alan Davis hosts it, and he gets like different comedians on each week. And the theory behind it is like when comedians are off stage, they're still funny people. So it's just like, let's get a group of comedians together and have a chat. And then the only point of the episode is by the end of each episode, they have to come up with a title for the show. But essentially, they just chat shit, and it's really funny. And then I really like the concept. And then I was like, I'd love to host something like that. Like, let's just do it, and then we can just, you know, have a nice chat, and it'll be really friendly. And I can just introduce 3 people that I really like, really adore, and really care about to, like, the world of my community, and they can each bring all of their like friends along. So then their friends get to meet a new streamers who they can then potentially go and hang out with, and the streamers get to meet new streamers who they can go and hang out with. And it's basically like, just like, hey, let's network, because I find networking really difficult as a part of Twitch, because I'm really shy and awkward, and meeting new people is difficult for me. So if I find it hard, I figure other guys might find it hard. Then if I sort of introduce you all this way, like in an organic way, it seems like a really cool way for you guys to make friends, and then hopefully you'll go and hang out after this, and you know, the people you've brought to chat today will also go and see the other people after this, and it will just help everyone get a little boost out of it, maybe, and we can all make some new friends. So yeah, the idea of basically, yeah, so the inspirations were As Yet Untitled, which is a cool TV show, and networking is hard, let's make it easier.
Started an uproar about biscuits in chat.
Yeah. So we have a Yorkshire pudding, which is similar to it's not the same it's not the same as a biscuit. And I've tried explaining Yorkshire pudding to Americans, and it's difficult because I keep saying like my favorite thing to cook is toad in the hole, and that's wild to Americans. But
like, so we have like the silliest names.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Yeah, my friends and I, like, in a bunch of people's chats, have gotten infights about the difference between a biscuit and a cookie. Like US versus UK definitions.
Clement,
Yeah.
I did not cause any of those fights. You can't.
Except this
you
one?
have no evidence. You have no evidence.
This one right here.
What a lawyer.
But I do want to say, CK, you are really good at like organizing things.
Oh,
So
thank you.
that's pretty awesome that you do the chat show, because you do really well at organizing events.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I do try. Like I said, I've been talking about doing a chat show since like last summer, and I was like, I really want to do it. I think it'd be really fun. And then when I did my charity stream in, I want to say September, October. It was October. 'Cause I think it was just before Lyra was born. We did it like just before I took my break to learn how to be dad. I had it as like, oh, if we reach so much amount of money, I'll do one of these chat shows, which ended up being the December one. And then I was like, man, that was so much fun. I'm just going to do them all the time now. Like, we're going to have one. I'm going to make it my project for this year. So we're going to have 6 by the end of this year, because there's going to be one every 2 months. And I was just like, they were so much fun. They were really cool. And I just want to do this all the time. I think it's like the best thing I've done on Twitch. Easy. Like, they're just really rewarding to me. And especially like after each of them, I've always people have always gone, oh, I really like the person I was on with who I didn't know before. Now I've been to their streams and stuff, and it gives me the warm fuzzies, because I like it when my friends become friends. Anyway, let's move on to Megan. Hey, Megan. Yay! So Megan, you play Fall Guys on stream a lot, and I was wondering like how you find like community games. Like, why do you find like community games are an important part of your channel?
Well, actually, like a big part of my streaming community and I met through Fall Guys, which is funny because I never played Fall Guys until I met my community. I didn't even know what it was. But they had all been playing it and rated me, and then like a bunch of us all rated each other. Basically, they convinced me to download it and play it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just it's so fun that we have a game. Like, we're all very different people,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, in my community. So for us to all have a game that we play is kind of rare.
Yeah.
But we all like Fall Guys for some reason.
I mean, I think it's because it's great. I think the thing that's
It's
really good
totally
about
great.
Fall Guys is like it's very accessible. Like nothing in it is necessarily difficult.
Hmm.
Like you can just pick it up and play it. I mean, obviously that like you get better if you play it a lot and stuff, but like essentially it's just run and jump. Like there's nothing complicated about it.
Yeah, it's like easy for people to pick up. It's now cross-platform. You can
Yes.
have up to 30 players if you do a custom like game together. And also it's not Phasmo like Goalie's talking about because that's too scary. But it's just I don't know, it's a fun way for us to hang out with each other and something that we can all enjoy that's easy to pick up. And we've actually found, like we talk about this too, we found that the Fall Guys community on Twitch is typically like pretty fun and
Mm.
nice. We've had like a few little bad eggs, you know, a few people who came into chat just to troll us. Um, but for the most part, like the people, you know, Phoenix, like he always looks for Fall Guys people to raid because they're always just really nice for whatever reason. It's a good community on Twitch.
Fair enough. That's cool. Actually, speaking of like saying that I'm quite good at organizing something, like it's pretty much since as long as I've known you, I've really wanted to organize a 30 people game of Fallout. Like that's something I feel like we, like, as us two, should work on. Is we need to find 30 friends who are all free at the same time, so we can just have a huge game of Fallout. Fall Guys. That would be a different game.
Yeah, I've only managed to get I think like 12 or 15 people together.
I mean, that's still pretty
before,
good.
and it is good, but you have to have a certain number to unlock the main show.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have to have at least 12, I think, to unlock the main show, which I think is really fun. And then we invited like people from the chat or whatever, like random people, and they just won. Like it was one guy that won every time, and I was like, oh, maybe we should just play with friends. But it's fun to like meet new people that way too.
Absolutely. So the first stream of yours I ever saw, you were playing Heroes of the Storm. And like that sort of style of game, like the MOBA sort of things, are usually like quite big esports games. So as somebody who plays them more casually, do you sometimes find that difficult with like the sort of ultra competitiveness that's around them?
Oh, definitely, yeah. When I started Twitch, I only streamed Heroes of the Storm, and it wasn't that difficult because I didn't really have any chatters, so it wasn't a big deal. Like, it was maybe my friends that were in chat, and they were also in Discord with me. But now that I like have met a lot of friends on Twitch, it's like almost impossible to stream HOTS because it's something that requires so much focus, and it's also a really long game. Like where Fall Guys, the game, you have to focus for like 5 minutes and then you can read chat. With HOTS, it's like 45 minutes and
Yeah.
then you can read chat if you're playing ranked or whatever. So that got really stressful, like the more people we kind of became friends with. But for some reason, like HOTS has this really diehard community on Twitch, which is interesting to me because it's not really like Blizzard kind of took all their developers off of it, so it doesn't really have any events anymore. It rarely has new skins. Like it doesn't really have an esports team anymore. It has like an unofficial esports team, but people love it. Like people are diehard about it on Twitch, and so I met a lot of people through Heroes of the Storm. But it's really hard to stream, and also because it's so competitive, like people get really toxic about it, which is not like my chat vibe that I like to have when
Yeah.
I'm streaming. So it's difficult because it does get really toxic
That's fair.
sometimes.
Yeah, toxic gaming is a bad thing in any form.
Mhm.
Right. So then, finally, I'd like to ask, and it will be, I understand it's difficult because I've already seen him in the chat and stuff. But as it's such a big part of your channel, can you just tell us the origins and maybe explain why you hate Goalie so much?
Oh my god. Yes. Okay, Goalie, are you here? I'm trying to remember the origins.
I mean, yeah, maybe Goalie, you can help out. You can give your side of the story as well.
Yeah, Goalie, you should share your side of the story as well. So I forget, maybe it's like Phoenix or Andrew or somebody has like a timeout in their channel, and I think this might be how it started, is like before we even knew each other, like, I know that his friends timed me out, and like I timed him out. I think I timed him out every single time he got into chat. Like if he just said hello, I would just time him out. And I didn't even really know him. I would just time him out because why not? Then I found out he has like a really good sense of humor. Like he's very sarcastic and I am very sarcastic. So I don't know. It just turned into this I hate goalie thing. Now he's labeled most hated in my Discord. I have a channel point redemption that's 100,000 channel points for me to be nice to him for one day. And he used to have just a timeout LPS channel point redemption in his chat. Just nobody else could be timed out. Just him. And just me, I mean. Yeah, it's kind of developed into a all-out war at this point.
It's really fun. I think as well what would be really cool at some point if you could like, we need some sort of team game or something that you could play, but then you could have one team where you lead it and one team where he leads it, and have like the LPS versus goalie like saga. Like I'd be so down for that. It'd be the most amazing thing.
Yeah.
You'd have to find some sort of like prize or forfeit or something that like, and then just have like
Like seriously, we could find out who actually wins the hatred fight. Okay, he said it only happened because I made a community challenge. I did make a community challenge to time him out so that everybody could time him out together as a group. But I just felt like, you know, like the community, like the mutual hatred of goalie really brings my community together as a team, where we work together against a common foe.
Can we just clarify that genuinely goalie is great and like his streams are well worth going to and he's really awesome?
Yes, yeah, he is a streamer. He's also one of my favorite people. So it's all just jokes.
But you two definitely are like, yeah, you two are very much frenemies.
Yes, we're frenemies. It's team bonding. Yes. Yep, coming together for a common hatred. You know, somebody had to be sacrificed for it, so.
Cool. So yeah, do you have a question for me?
Oh yeah, I forgot. So, you've obviously been streaming a lot longer than me.
Yes. It would be my 2 year anniversary is in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay. No, I thought you said you've been streaming for 2 weeks. I was like, wait, never mind. No, I'm kidding. I was gonna ask, is there anything that, like, you would have done differently, or if you like could go back you would have changed, or like something about the beginning of your streaming career that you wish you would have done a different way, or something like that?
I don't know. I actually had, like, I guess because I started streaming in like the beginning of the pandemic and stuff, like so many people did, and there was a group of us who all kind of started streaming together. I actually probably had quite a blessed beginning of streaming compared to a lot of people, because I already had like 4 or 5 people who were going to be in most of my streams. And that's like, so I got affiliate within like a month.
Get over here!
Peaceful 88, thank you for getting over here and joining in the fun. Much appreciated. But yeah, so I got affiliate in like a month, I think, and it was maybe 2 months. It was pretty quick. And I probably had that like beginning quite easy compared to a lot of people. I mean, I think where I had more free time, I started off being like, I'm only going to stream 3 times a week, and then it was like, as I sort of started liking it, I gradually grew it up to 4 and then 5. And I think I would have just, like, in hindsight, maybe gone straight for the 5 a week while I had time to do it. Because, I mean, if I could stream 5 or 6 times a week now, I'd love to, but, you know, it's difficult with work and a child and a wife and stuff that need attention. So, I mean, maybe I would have liked to have streamed more. I think I don't know, I guess as those people kind of blew up a lot better than I did, which makes me sound like a really jealous person, but like I was genuinely happy for them that my friends were succeeding and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes I was jealous, but on the whole I was happy that they were succeeding. So as they started to meet other people and stuff, and like I say, I find networking difficult, they came to my streams a lot less. So I'd say maybe I had the really difficult bit, where you're doing constant streams to 0 or 1 people and like nobody's chatting and it's just like hours of you talking to yourself. And I had that bit maybe like 6 or 7 months in. And I think it maybe would have been better for me to have had that at the beginning, so I had a more realistic expectation of what starting streaming is like. If that makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, sorry.
No. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I feel like, yeah, I streamed for like, I mean, like on and off. I streamed for like 2 years. It wasn't like I was consistent about it at all. And nobody ever chatted for like, 2 years. And then I started being consistent and I met Andrew and then I met like a bunch of people. So yeah, I think that kind of like, now I'm like, whoa, there are actually friendly people on Twitch. I didn't know this.
I think actually one of the things, because one of the, I guess like the sort of mental issues that I have, I was actually talking about this on stream yesterday, is that I get really like triggered when I'm lonely, and like it makes me really depressed. And sort of I found when I did stream to sort of like 0 people or like maybe 1 or 2 people who were lurking, and as much as I appreciate lurkers, it's always, I guess, nicer as a streamer to have the interaction of a chatter. So yeah, I that used to make me feel like really lonely, to be like, oh well, I'm trying to put myself out there for like a few hours, but I'm not getting anything back from it. And the thing that made me get through that was I streamed a game called Night in the Woods, which I would highly recommend to everyone. It's a really good game. But then and I was like, I'd already played it on my own in like my own time, but I was just thought, actually, I'll share this because it's a really cool game. And then I started streaming that and doing all like character voices for all the different people and going through it. And I was just having a really nice time playing it. And it didn't matter that there was nobody there because I was just having a lovely time playing this game and doing silly voices. And then I sort of thought, that's what I need to focus on more, is making sure that I get like, I'm having a good time. And then if other people enjoy it, that's great. But I need to put myself at a point where like my mental health isn't getting wrecked by doing this. So, and I think that maybe I'd have learned that sooner had I not had such an easy into streaming. Because the only game I've ever actually given up on streaming is I tried to play Doom Eternal on stream, I think. Or maybe Doom 2016, I can't remember. One of the Dooms. I was like, we're going to do this on stream. And it was just like, nobody came to watch it because it was just hours and hours of me dying on the same room. Because that game's fucking hard. And then I was like, I can't stream this because it's killing me. I'll play this in my own time when there isn't the stress. So yeah, I guess those... What?
Well, yeah, you were saying that like sometimes about loneliness and stuff like that. That's one of the main reasons I stream, was because I was really lonely like during the pandemic, and I work from home. And it was a pandemic, so I was just really lonely. So that's why I started streaming, is because yeah, it's just like, it's nice to just have somebody to talk to.
Yeah, so I started streaming because I knew my friends were lonely and I wanted to give them a place to alleviate that, and I was like, hey, just come and hang out. And like I say, for the beginning I had but then people went back to work, and like I say, my other streamer friends were much more successful than I was, so had like met other communities and stuff that they obviously preferred to hang out with, which is fine, that happens, people move on and stuff, but like, so yeah, I don't know. But no, that was a cool question, thank you. And hopefully you've learned a bit about how my mind worked. So, before we move on to the second part of the show, what is the chat show without an ad break? Hey guys, we're currently doing a cool community challenge at the moment. If you want to see a playthrough of Life is Strange True Colors on streamer mode, which means chat gets to make every single decision in the game, we're currently running a community challenge for that. Feel free to contribute and it will happen. And then when I finish one of the games I'm playing at the moment, we'll start that next, if it's got, that sort of thing. So you can jump your channel points into that. Thanks, Anne and Venom, for doing it now. Cool. So the next part of the chat show is just generally having a chat, being a chat show and all. Ryan, thanks for contributing to the community challenge. So do either of you, any of you, I don't know what the correct word is for 3 people, Does anyone in the group have a conversation starter they want to bring up, or does anyone have anything they want to talk about?
Most embarrassing moment on stream so far.
Oh, easy.
My God, Venom. Venom.
No, it's good.
Stream 250. That's my
Oh yeah, that's
Chat, don't say anything.
that's recent,
Stream
isn't it?
250. That was a massacre.
What happened?
Internet. To put in one word, internet, which I've not had issues for a long time. So, in the early days, I was on Wi-Fi for streaming. It was passable, not amazing. And then at some point in like May, June, July of 2021, the internet, the Wi-Fi just started becoming terrible. So I bought an Ethernet extender, which to this day I still have into my PC. And since then, I had absolutely no issues when streaming. No dropped frames, no anything like that. And then Stream 250, which was a milestone, it was a case of like it just suddenly came back. And the thing is, it was so coincidental as well because so Stream 250 was not too long ago, like CK said, like mid-March, I think, I want to say. And basically, the internet started dying out. But the real coincidence about it was that it was on the same day that my sister got a brand new PC, and I thought, well, this is just eating up the internet. It got me terrified that I would never be able to stream again because of how bad the internet was. And as a result, like, I was playing Mario Kart at the time, trying out the new DLC tracks, because actually I did it on the day that the new Mario Kart DLC came out for the first wave. I was playing that, and the thing is, like, people that don't normally come in regular streams were coming in, like some people who tend to come by for milestones just came in during it. I just hit my mic. And as a result, it was just like these people like were coming in, and I was on shoddy internet, terrified and mad and upset out of my mind about Stream 250 just being an absolute shambles. Despite the fact that I had like an all-day stream planned, and 40 minutes after going live, I had to just go offline and sulk for the rest of the day. So I want to say, like, it was embarrassing in the sense that it was tragic, but not funny embarrassing. I don't think I've had any funny embarrassing moments.
I guess though,
but, yeah.
At least with that, it was, although you got embarrassed by it, it wasn't like a thing you did. It wasn't your fault. Like, the internet happens. Like,
Yeah.
so at least that's like the good part of it. It wasn't like your fuck up.
It was only one day, which
Yeah.
was the real relief. I could actually go back to streaming after the very bad Friday. I think it was a Friday.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I think one of my most embarrassing moments on stream, which I've talked about a few times, is I think it was like after a charity stream. It was one of the milestones we'd hit or something. Was to play an entire game in one sitting. So we were like, hey, you know what would be fun? I'm going to play Detroit Become Human in one go. So it's actually my longest stream to date. It was 10.5 hours. And obviously, like, that game's like a really big story focus thing. Like, it's really important to know what's going on for, like, what's going on thing. And somebody, like, nobody told me that for about 2.5 hours right in the middle of that game, the game audio was muted, and no one mentioned it. Everyone just let me keep playing with this really in-depth story game with no like sound at all. And I look back. Yeah, I keep looking back on it going.
I feel like for me, a better question would be like, when did you have a not embarrassing stream? Would be the easier question to answer. Is when did I have a stream that went well and was not humiliating? Oh, I don't know if it's ever happened. Literally, for some reason, like anytime we get a hype train on my channel, everything crashes. Like my camera crashes, my audio crashes, my stream has crashed completely and like shut off
Maybe you should like
during a hype train.
maybe you should use the stuff you earn in your hype train to like buy equipment like new camera and new PC. Upgrade a little.
Seriously, I need to get all of my stuff sorted out because it's like, I don't know, I feel really like ungrateful or like I'm letting people down, you know what I mean? I hate letting people down. And I've had like a couple times where my audio has been, like my mic has been muted for most of the time, and
Yeah.
my camera like my camera a lot of times will freeze. It used to freeze every stream after an hour and 30 minutes. It would just freeze, and it was always on like the weirdest face that you could possibly imagine me making was what it would freeze on, and that's it. Oh my gosh, it was humiliating. And then now it does this thing where it like half of the screen will freeze and the other half won't, so there'll be like one Megan over here that like is still and then the other Megan over here that's moving. Oh my gosh, that happens all the time. I just need to get all my stuff sorted out. I just don't have a lot of time because I work full time.
Yeah.
You know, and so I don't have a ton of time to like just work on software and hardware issues. But it's always an adventure. I think every stream is an adventure. And like they're saying, oh my god, when Megan panicked during a hype train and cut the stream, she hated it so much she ended the stream. Yeah. Oh yeah.
On the plus though, like
happen.
at least if your camera freezes and it makes two of you, then like you know there's twice as much adorable in your channel.
It's just extra fun. It's
Yeah.
like having a little twin to stream with.
Do you ever like
know?
try and do
It's
the thing where you like match up with it and like make a mirror and like
Yes. Yes. We try and do little things together, me and Frozen Megan. So it's fun. I guess it's exciting.
I don't know, stop getting on about Frozen Megan, let it go.
Let it go.
What about you then, Venom? What's your like?
Yeah, it's your turn.
I'll go more embarrassing funny. A while back we were playing Demon Souls as it came out on PlayStation 5. And during that time I started to watch those streams as well because I was learning how to play those types of games. And I met a gentleman by the name of Peepo who was very good at streaming the game, super conversational. Got to chatting with him. We became really good friends on Twitch. I don't know how it started. A couple of months after that, somebody came up with an idea for a twerk competition between him and I that would end up haunting me if my boss ever saw it. So I had to hype it up. So I ordered a rainbow wig off of Amazon and then proceeded to blow up some balloons and stuff them down the back of my pants and proceeded to, I think I won said twerk competition, but there is a video out there somewhere of me in a rainbow wig twerking for, I don't know, 20-25 viewers on the internet against someone else that would probably ruin me if I ever became president of the United States. So.
I like that. A few sort of years down the line, you're running for president, and it's like, oh man, he's had like 51% of the vote, so you think Venom's going to get it? And it's like, wait, have you seen that video of him in the wig?
Yeah.
Landslide
Oh my
loss.
gosh, I love it.
I think I think she actually reached out to me not that long ago. It was like a funny idea on Twitch that might make a comeback somewhere down the road. It would make a really good idea for like a charity stream.
Yeah.
And I've kind of been tossing it up in my head that down the road I might grab a couple of streamers to have fun and do something like that. Just for a good cause, to be funny, but also put it toward a good cause.
There you go.
So,
I'm
Right.
busy that day.
That's
just so
it.
you know.
I was gonna say, Chris, Megan, we've just been recruited.
I'm sorry, I'm sick that day.
Yeah, washing my hair.
I'm on a-
This one to be precise.
I'm on a lemonade protest.
That's fun. Anyone else got any sort of things you want to bring to the class?
It's a question for everyone.
Mm.
What is the dumbest bet that you've ever taken with a friend? I'll start off with an example. So, how old was I? I was in my teens. So I was walking up to our local supermarket with two of my friends. One of them being Lucas, or as he is sometimes called on my channel, Dave, for some reason. We were walking up to the supermarket. We're going past this park by a park entrance. I peer to the side of me, I look to the side of me and see on the ground a £5 note. And I like, because you have to be skeptical in my area of, is it actually money or is it not? I was like, is that a, and before I could finish my sentence, Lucas just barged past me and dolphin dived over to pick it up. And as a result, we got into a very friendly debate about who had the right to the £5 note, because I saw it first, but he picked it up. So it ended up being a bet of, and this was at a time where trick shotting was a big thing in Call of Duty. So as a result, we went back to Lucas's house playing Black Ops 1 multiplayer. If I win, I get 50% of the £5. If I lose, then Lucas gets all of it. That was the bet. I ended up just winning by just spinning around and
360 no scope.
Oh, more 410 no scope. I was going to say 420, but that's a different thing entirely. And I managed to get it, and even then, like, I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves correctly, we went to the shops, and I only got like £2 out of the £2.50 that I was supposed to get out after winning the bet. So, like, which is weird, because the grand scheme of things, £5 is not a lot of money when you're an adult. Back then, it meant a lot because you're a teenager, and so for us to like have this like well, not MLG, but this like trick shots like competition between the two of us, who can hit one first. Over £5, like that is like ridiculous in the grand scheme of things. Not even over £5, over half of £5 for me. That's my story of the dumbest bet that I've taken with a friend.
I don't really think I've taken any bets. I don't know, it's just not the sort of thing that our friends did. I mean, I've done a lot of like stupid stuff hanging out with my friends, but like never over a bet. It's just been because we're idiots. Like,
I mean, we can change it to the dumbest thing that occurred with a friend.
I was going to say, so what springs to my mind is perhaps one of the stupidest things I've ever done. Is there's a like woods really close to my house where we always used to like go and have picnics and stuff and hang out. And like we did find in this woods, as you sometimes do in woods, like a rope swing somebody had made. And we were like, cool, we can just hang out, play on this rope swing, it'd be great. You know, we've been using this rope swing on and off for, I don't know, months at this point. Like, it was a safe rope swing, we knew it was there. And someone had the idea, it was like, hey, you know, like that tree on the other side, if we didn't just swing across like the river, if you just like swing to the side, you could swing to where that tree is, you could then like kick off the tree and do like a really cool like spin or something. And everyone was like, yeah, that would be cool. But nobody volunteered to do it, except me, because I'm an idiot. So then there was like, I don't know, maybe like 10 of us, like with me on this rope swing, 10 people like pulling it back as far as it would go to really like fucking throw it at this tree. And I was like, yeah, this is gonna be good, I can kick off this. And then as they were pulling it back, I was like, actually, this is a bit high, guys, maybe we shouldn't do this, this is probably going to be a really stupid idea. And then they launched it, and I basically just went like leg first into this tree. And I happened to have at the time, for reasons I can't remember, like a bouncy ball sort of thing in my pocket, but it was like this sort of size, and it was like that is what hit the tree first. And basically I then had a bruise about the size of said ball on my leg for a couple of months, and for the rest of that day it was really difficult to walk. So that was pretty stupid.
Yeah, blimey.
Yeah, basically I just let like loads of people throw me into a tree.
Oh, that's actually made me think of two other stories. Do anyone? I'll talk about one of the stories. But do anyone? Do Venom, Meg, do one of you two want to say a story first?
Do you do stupid stuff, or are you sensible people?
I don't think I have anything to be stream appropriate. But you could...
Oh gosh. I guess my friends and I have done quite a few stupid things, but there was this one time where we decided to go camping on the beach, which we did a lot, but it was a really small beach, and it was just a stupid idea. We thought it would be a good idea. It was a terrible idea. So the tide came up while we were sleeping and flooded the tents, and all of our stuff was soaked, and we were just stuck there freezing because it was really cold when you're wet. You know what I mean? Like it would have been fine had we not all been soaking wet and all of our stuff was soaking wet. But yeah, it was a stupid idea to go camping on a small beach where the tide was going to come in. We didn't know, obviously, but lesson learned.
So actually, speaking of camping stories, on a similar thing, so when I was like a kid, I was in like the Scouts and stuff. And for the like millennium, like in year 2000, they organised like this big millennium camp, and it was going to be a huge thing. They were going to get all like the scout groups from like the county to all come camp in the same field, and it was going to be like a thing. And then what was really stupid in hindsight is that all of these tents that they laid out for, I don't know, probably like a few, I think there was like 2,000 or 3,000 kids like camping here. And they were all at the bottom of a really big hill, which is a stupid place to camp. Because as that night, it was one of the worst storms like there had been in the last few years. And then all the rain comes down the hill and fills up everybody's tents.
Oh my gosh.
So there was about 3,000 kids who in the middle of the night, you had to phone around all of their parents to be like, can you come and pick them up? We've had to cancel the camp at like 11 o'clock at night because everything is flooded and everyone's cold and upset.
Oh.
It was one of the biggest sort of disasters I've ever seen organised. But yeah, so camp in sensible places, people.
Seriously. Yeah, I don't even know why we didn't leave, but we stayed there and we like huddled together for warmth, and I was like, it was like people that I was not comfortable huddling with, let me just say, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is the worst.
Oh dear. Yeah, like TK, when you said about you being thrown, like letting your friends throw you. I think that thing happened to me actually. So, just probably like a few years before the trick-shotting incident, there's this leisure centre close to where I live, like 10-minute walk, and there's a park there which me and my friends would hang out with. Well, we would hang out with each other there. But at one point, we instead because of like fact that the groups of people would go there, we were like, okay, we're going to go somewhere else. So we went to the hill next to where the leisure centre was, and like someone like at some point we just thought, you know, what would be fun, like if we threw Chris down the hill. Basically. So one person grabbed my legs, the other person grabbed my arms, and we just went 1, 2. I don't know if we counted 3 or 5, but on that count, they just let go, and I had to try and
not die.
You know, survive. Like, I mean, I think that did teach me the lesson of how to take a bump. Honestly, just flat back, make sure you don't hit your head. Interestingly,
on the sort of subject of throwing friends, so you've met my friend Wade. So like I've got this friend Wade. He's like a very scrawny guy. There's not a lot to him, and consequently he's very light. So we have, on I think at least 3 different occasions, had a game of catch with Wade. We'll just like pick him up and just throw him to each other because we can.
Thinking about it, like if I was like friends with full-on jocks, that would be the same with me. But because we were all nerds, and I was still somehow light enough for them to throw me. Like that's probably what makes it even like that's what made me the least alpha male when I was growing up.
So something I wanted to ask actually, or bring it in as a thought process, because it's just something I happened to be talking about with a streamer the other day, and then I thought, oh, that's an interesting thing. Do any of you have like a video game character that you think is like really similar to your personality? Like, do you have someone that you've met in a game and gone, oh, they're like me?
Really good question.
I mean, to give you
What an amazing question.
I mean, to give you some time to think, I can tell you about the one I think I found. Batman, you reckon?
You go first.
But playing Final Fantasy 15, I felt like I had a lot of affinity with Prompto. Because like, if you've not played it, it's basically like it follows like the 4 guys. They're called the Choco Bros, and like Prompto's sort of like the awkward like one who's sort of like, hey, he's really sensitive, but he hides it behind cracking jokes, and like sort of being like the funny guy, you know, but when you can have like these little campfire talks with each of the people in your party, and when you talk to him, he's actually like really insecure and like really deep in thought, and he has like an inferiority complex because all of his friends are loads cooler than him. And I'm like, wow, this guy's me, right? Like, I'm awkward and sensitive, and I hide it by cracking jokes, like, and all my friends are cooler than me. Whoa! I very much found like that character was like, hey, this is me. I don't know if you've had any similar sort of things.
Yeah, right now I'm looking at a notepad that I've got my top 100 favorite video game characters. I'm seeing if any of them are at all similar to me.
Or if you don't have like a video game character, just maybe a fictional character or something.
So, I've had people say that.
Sam, thank you for following. Thank you for getting over here and joining in the fun. Sorry, carry on.
Oh, no. Somebody said that Sophia from Stardew Valley Expanded reminded them of me. So...
I don't know Stardew very much, like...
Well, Stardew Valley Expanded, it's like a mod for Stardew that has like a bunch of new people.
Yeah.
And people were saying that Sophia reminded them of me. But other than that, I'm like trying to think of like an actual, like...
Hey,
personality character.
Stardew is an actual game. You can, if you're like a character from Stardew, you can.
It is, yeah. I actually haven't gotten to know her yet, so we just met, and I'm getting to know her. So we'll find out if she's like me.
You're not getting like immediate Megan vibes on first meeting.
Know. I mean, she's very sweet. She's very sweet. And she's purplish hair.
It sounds like
purplish pinkish hair. And I think she's a farmer. I'm not a farmer, but that's okay.
I'd say if you could find a character that hides a lot of his... Well, I can have serious conversation, but I tend to hide a lot of them within sarcasm and jokes. So I guess whatever character... I'm not going to say... I see Deadpool on my screen, but he's not really... I'm not that bad. But in terms of sarcasm, along with how because I'm a store manager where I work, so I have to, you know, keep spirits high while also teaching and developing talent and things like that. But I tend to hide a lot of that within sarcasm, jokes, and make it more fun.
Yeah.
Trying to think of a character that kind of resembles that, but Mirage from Apex. That probably is the best one I can think of. If you guys have ever played Apex Legends, is everything that comes out of his mouth is sarcasm and funny, but he always has like a meaning behind what he says.
That's cool. I very much see you like that. You're a very like a wise teacher, but you make it fun. It's like, hey guys, we've got to get better at stuff, but you know, it's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So that leaves me.
I mean, if you like you say, if you're struggling, maybe give us a character archetype, and we'll tell you what character fits into it.
I'd say, like, in terms of like a character archetype, I'm certainly like the kind of person who would like deal with any form of like conflict with sarcasm as well as jokes, like to make it sound like you know, it's a joke. Also be like, well, you know, maybe you could stop doing this, you know, like that kind of social awkwardness, but also trying to be like truthful as well.
Mm.
And I guess like also when it comes to I'm pretty sure that's it's the same with everyone here, where we're always trying to do right, and sometimes we are left with choices where doing something right isn't easy to see because you don't know if what you're doing is the right thing or if it's the wrong thing. So you choose, like, you have to choose one, even though like the choices that you have are bad ones. I guess in that sense, I'm a bit like the Doctor from Doctor Who.
Anakin Skywalker. That's all I thought. You know what you have to do, but it may not be the good choice.
No, I'm Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Just choke on your own ambition, Venom.
Oh yeah, I want to see if I can find that clip of Goalie finding me in The Evil Within too. That was me as a character. That was a good one.
I've not played the second one. I played the first Evil Within. And... Is it like the big spider lady? Is it going to be something that horrible?
It's probably going to be something terrible, but it might take me a minute to find it.
It's
Such
okay.
a bad clip.
It's okay. We'll all sit and wait.
Oh my gosh! Yay! Okay, we're gonna sit and wait, Goalie.
No. Any other sort of things people want to talk about? Anything else you've got? I've got a list of conversation starters if it needs be, but I just didn't know if there's anything else you wanted to bring up before I like.
We're gonna rattle one off.
Cool, I can do that then. I mean, I guess my sort of go-to question I ask people a lot actually is are there any games that haven't come out yet that you're looking forward to? And it's sort of things up and coming.
Definitely. If there's like, there's no like confirmation, but I talked about this with Sam BFC the other day. He, the guy who just recently followed.
Yes.
We were talking about it the other day.
Thanks, Sam.
How this year is going to be Call of Duty Black Ops 2's 10-year anniversary in November. So, and the game is set in 2025. So I thought to myself, what if, like, in 2025 they release a remaster or a remake of Black Ops 2, and like there's nothing like that's at all confirmed of that to actually be the case of that actually coming out.
That isn't a game you're looking forward to. That's a pipe dream.
Yeah, that is a pipe dream. Like it's a pipe dream, and I feel like it would be like it's almost inevitable that it happens, even though it's Call of Duty that we're talking about. But yeah, I think that's like big thing that's I'm looking forward to video game wise. That has got nothing concrete about it. And I guess like the other thing is GTA 6, because that's been confirmed to be in development after being stopped and started so many times.
Yeah,
that's more of a I am cautiously excited for it because of the way that Rockstar Games have gone business-wise recently. So I'm just like, I want it to be good, and they usually are good. But there's always the fear that they're just going to somehow ruin it.
Yes.
Like they did with Red Dead Online. Still not over it.
Hey, at least it's better than like Fallout 76.
Just hoping they remake, which it's still rumored, but the first Metal Gear Solid. They're supposed to be remaking that for PlayStation 5 specifically.
Oh, right.
The whole voice cast from the original game has been hanging out a lot lately, and a couple of deleted tweets on Twitter and things like that. They kind of rumor that it may be happening, but I remember getting, I must have been, I don't know, 10, 12, and getting my PlayStation 1 for the very first time. It came with a demo disc, and Metal Gear Solid was on there, and I must have beat that demo 100, 150 times. It was crazy. And then I finally got to go get that game. It's been, I don't know, it's been like a staple for gaming for me for however many years now. But if they remake that one, I'll probably take some time off of work just to play it 3, 4, 5 times.
That's fair. If they do remake that, I know my brother would go mad for it. He's a big Metal Gear fan. Actually, interestingly, like Metal Gear Solid is the game we use. I don't know if you've ever seen this thing. It's like, because of technological advances and stuff, like way back then, you could watch play Metal Gear Solid and you knew exactly what emotions they were always conveying. But if you look at the cutscenes from Metal Gear Solid 1 now, Snake's face never changes. It's always the same blank face for the whole thing. And it's just like, oh man, that's so weird.
Yeah, the biggest tease was, I think, was Metal Gear Solid 4, where you got to go back to
Yes.
this island and get an item, and you got that small little bit of remaster for it. It drove me absolutely insane.
Megan, anything you're looking forward to?
Isn't Blizzard like teasing a new game?
I don't know.
Let's see. Like a new multiplayer game? A multiplayer survival game? In a new universe?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Maybe.
But they haven't really like said much about it. It's kind of just been like, hey, we're making a new game. And I've always enjoyed their games, like Diablo, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, HOTS. I've always been a big fan, so I'm a little curious, a little excited. But we'll see.
Fair enough. I'm really looking forward to, obviously, some point end of this year, probably, like new God of War will be really cool. That's sort of up there on my list. And obviously announced this morning, Kingdom Hearts 4. And I haven't seen the trailer yet. Don't say anything. I'm going to watch it when we finish today. But I know it was announced this morning. So that will be pretty hype.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Now, do you ever go up to your daughter and go, "Girl"?
I haven't done that. We used to, like, before our Daegu died, like when we used to feed him, we used to go up to him and go, "Boy." But no, I haven't tried to translate it. Maybe we should. I don't know. The thing we've got with her at the moment, like reading her like bedtime stories and stuff, she's starting to get like more interested in what we're saying and stuff. And I've been trying to read her The Northern Lights because it's where her name comes from. But obviously, because the main character in that is called Lyra, I keep saying Lyra, and when she's starting to learn what her name is, she keeps looking over, being like, "What?" And it's like, no, you're supposed to be going to sleep.
You
You go to sleep. I'm just trying to read you a story. And I, again, like from streaming, where I've got used to anytime I'm playing a game that doesn't have voice acting and stuff, like I do voices for the characters. Which is now meant, now that I'm reading her bedtime stories, I can do voices for all the characters. And she got really excited whenever I was doing like the voice for the polar bear, because I can talk like this, because this is how a bear talks. And anytime I'd say anything in that voice, she'd be like, "What? Whoa, what's going on?" Which, you know, Katie used to get really annoyed with, because like she'd be trying to feed her, and like she keep looking up, and it's like, "No, just have your milk." What?
Well, we should absolutely, hire you for voice acting now, TK. We need to get everyone,
I'd love to do that.
every company. Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
See, I would love to do voice acting as well. It's just a shame that I've got a lisp.
You could play a character with a lisp.
True.
Why
Well,
not?
not much variety. I mean, to be fair, I can do a cowboy.
There you go. You can just play a cowboy. Like right. I've got two things I need to come back to. But like you're so if you can do a cowboy, what I think would be a really cool like thing as like an art project would be just for you to be like Cowboy Chris for an entire stream. But like you don't have to talk to chat or play any games or anything. It's just you sitting there looking sad with a whiskey.
I need to buy the whiskey first.
Yeah, but like that would be the whole stream. It would just be you there like. Ugh.
Yeah. I've got an actual cup.
Ooh, grown up. But no, Venom, you talking about doing the Metal Gear Solid demo over and over and over. Like, I had exactly the same thing as a kid when I had the Resident Evil 2 demo on my PC.
Yeah.
And it was like, and it was one of those things that it would be like, you could either play it for 15 minutes, or once you reached a certain point in the game, like, if you clicked on a door, it would just stop.
Yep.
And I was like, I've completed that demo a billion times, and I could get to that door, like, I didn't need the 15 minutes, I could do it in about 6. And it was like,
Get past the door, like when you have the actual game, you get past the door and you go, I don't know what to do now.
yeah, it's like, oh man, there's a game here. Whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got that when, I don't know, maybe I was about 8 or so, and it wasn't until I was about 10 that I actually got to play Resident Evil 2 properly.
Yeah.
and then it was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
Now, is that still your favorite because it was like your go-to at that point?
Yeah, Resident Evil 2 is definitely my favorite. It's really cool, and it's so much better than the remake. Like the remake, obviously, like has better gameplay because it's really modernized and stuff. But the actual the thing that annoys me about both the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes is it's like, hey, why are you making a PS1 game on the PS4, but you've cut out so much story content? Like, what is going on here?
It's weird when you think about it because it's a more advanced console.
Well, exactly.
So surely they would have more story.
You'd think,
like
wouldn't you?
how Final Fantasy VII's remake is more storyline than.
I mean, I haven't played that yet. But I mean, just sticking within Resident Evil, if you look at the Resident Evil 1 remake that was done on the GameCube, that is everything that was in Resident Evil 1, but they changed all the puzzles so people who've already played it won't know the answers. They moved certain enemy spawns, so when you went to like a certain place expecting something to happen, it wouldn't happen, and then it would happen later in the game to really fuck with you. And then they added in like extra rooms and extra enemies and stuff. And it was just like, this is exactly how a remake should work. This is perfect. And then they did the PS4 remakes of like 2 and 3, and it's like, you've skipped loads of stuff, and you've made it inconsistent, and you've ruined the lore. You've made a really fun game, but you've ruined the lore.
Right.
But it annoys me, because the 2 and 3 remakes exist, they won't release the original Resident Evil 2 and 3 on like the new consoles. So I can't play
Give
them.
it to you as a combo pack. It was like a separate game within the game. You could go back and play the original because you know they don't take up that much space.
Yeah.
You can just kind
They
of give it to you.
easily could have, but they haven't. And
Yeah.
yeah, you can't download them or anything. And they're not on Steam, and I just want to play them.
On the clip
You found the clip?
of me. Yeah,
I'm looking at it.
me as a video game character.
Is it just going to be terribly insulting?
It's from the evil within.
Jeez.
There's a lot of hands.
I had it to you.
There you go.
I
And
mean,
this
I see the resemblance.
this sort of furthers what I was talking about with the hatred between Megan and Goldie. Like, you see what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't even in the stream at that point. I was asleep at that point. So I'm thankful Tyler was there
After hours trash talk, the best kind of trash
to clip it.
Yeah.
I guess it's like really nice to know that you've now got this video game credit. Like, I haven't got to be in a video game. At least you got to be in the evil then.
Yes. Yeah, I'm basically famous now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that leads us on to like so if you guys could be in any video game, like, is there like one you'd really like to be in? Well, yeah, okay. Chris would obviously be in Red Dead.
Red Dead 2 specifically.
Well, I mean, that already exists and you're not in it. Like, but you could be in Red Dead 3.
Red Dead Redemption 3, Rise of the Vanderlyn Gang, with Arthur Morgan.
No, Red Dead Redemption 3, this time there's ducks.
I like it.
Yeah.
Absolutely quackers.
Exactly. Man.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
You wouldn't want
I'd
to be
like
like
to be in
a...
Lost Ark.
Yeah?
Yes, it's so pretty. It's amazing. There's so many different, like, universes inside of Lost Ark. And I could have fire come out of my hands. It would be amazing. I'd love it. But I'm trying to think of, like, a good story I would like to be in. Lost Ark, I would just, like, blow things up and it would be pretty.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with just blowing stuff up and being pretty. You know.
There's,
But
like, waterfalls and
Yeah.
bridges.
I did say that when I played Lost Ark, and I was like, this is a really pretty game. I think it's got quite bad writing in places, but it's a really pretty game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the Korean translation or if it's just, like,
Possibly.
I don't know.
A bit cheesy.
Yeah.
Debating, I guess, character versus world. this world, I'd probably go with Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
That whole thing is just super cool.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going character, I'd probably have to go with, well, I don't want to go post-apocalyptic. I'll stick it with Metal Gear and be Solid Snake. But in terms of world itself, the beauty when you play in a Horizon Forbidden West or Horizon Zero Dawn, I would love to actually see what that would look like in real life. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. I was really annoyed. Like, I got Horizon when I got my PS4, and I was like, I really want to enjoy this game, but I was just like, it's just not the gameplay that I enjoy, which is a shame. It's too Assassin's Creedy, and it's just like, yeah. And I was like, it's beautiful, and I love it, and I really enjoy the world. It's just not a game that I gel with, which was such a shame because it is cool. But no, for me, I would love to be in Mortal Kombat. Like,
actually, think about it, that would be a close second for me.
yeah, that'd be so much fun. Right, like, all of the voice acting is kind of hammy and cheesy anyway, so I wouldn't necessarily have to be the best. I could just be in it.
All the power of secondhand CK.
Right, like, it'd somehow be
Hold on, I have to leave real quick dramatically. I'll
No
be
worries.
back.
Okay,
See you
that's
guys.
fine. I wonder what she's
Not
doing.
dramatic enough, be more dramatic.
CK's Mortal Kombat fan? Fuck yeah. I've been playing Mortal Kombat since I was 4 years old. I had like the first one on my SNES. It was amazing. Scorpion is my boy, don't at me.
Luke Kang is my boy.
Goody.
Dick.
Yeah, Scorpion's great. It's Scorpion, if not him, then Baraka.
Oh yeah.
And like MKX, I really got into Ferrotor, and I was so annoyed that they got killed off screen. It was like the most unfair thing.
You know what I hate most about that? They brought Devora back.
No, Devora is cool. Shut up. She's amazing.
No, I don't like Devora.
She's not necessarily the best, but like she's a very cool character.
Not the best, but they're trying to make her out that she is the best, and that's what I don't like.
Yeah.
You've seen the Mortal Kombat 11 story? Have
I've heard that joke. I've heard that joke, Phoenix. Oh, what?
Seen Mortal Kombat 11 story? Have you not, CK?
Yes, I haven't done the Aftermath DLC because Warner Brothers
Well,
charges too much for their
Devora
nonsense.
does. You've seen what Devora does.
I mean, probably. I probably thought it was fucking cool. I can't remember. She probably kills. She kills people with bugs. It's great.
You know specifically who?
Not off the top of my head. I can't remember.
Scorpion.
Oh. Yeah. He's died a lot of times. He's all right. But yeah, no, I'd love to have been like my own character in Mortal Kombat. It would be really cool. Just be like, doo-doo-doo. And you know, even if I just got to be the announcer guy, I'd be okay with that. Like, round one, fight. Dun, 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 dun. That'd be so great. Like, I used to do a podcast with Wade where it was like a fancy fighting podcast called Mishmash Mayhem, where we put two fictional characters against each other in like a fight. And the first episode we did had Sub-Zero in, because I was like, we have to do Mortal Kombat, let's go. So yeah, we started it with Sub-Zero against Link, was the first fight we did. It was really cool.
Sub-Zero would win.
Yeah, Sub-Zero did win, but I mean, that was fun. The thing that made our podcast fun was we rolled a d20 and we had like a list of random places for the fight to take place. And it was just like, so we called it like the Die of Death, and it would like determine where the fight happened. It was really cool. It was a shame that we can't do that anymore. But no.
Man, I'm thinking of all the video games I'd love to be in.
Right. I mean, I think if it wasn't Mortal Kombat, I think I'd like to be in Resident Evil, because I feel like those are the two games that kind of like really got me when I was growing up. Or being in a Final Fantasy would be really cool as well.
Guild Wars really got me when I was growing up. Like, I would have loved to be in Guild Wars back then.
Mhm.
'Cause it was really cool. I feel like now it's kind of like an old video game,
Yeah, there's
so
nothing wrong
it's
with
not
that.
as cool. But
Yeah.
back in the day, I would have loved to be in Guild Wars.
What was like everyone's first game they played, or first game they owned, or something?
Well, for me, like, that's a very difficult question, because I don't know which one came first in my life. I just remember I was very young playing them both.
Mm.
The first one is Toontown Online, which was a 2003 online MMO made by Disney.
Your first game was an online game. I forget how young you are.
It could have been, like, bearing in mind, like, it was a 3+ game,
Yeah.
and I was years old at the time. So it was either that one or the very first Ratchet and Clank on the PS2.
That's cool.
Can't remember which one I played first, so I say that I tend to say that Toontown was the first game I've played, and Ratchet and Clank is the first console game.
Sure.
I'm old, so it was original NES playing Super Mario 1, 2, and 3.
Nice.
It's just over and over and over. I think it's how I got most of my jump timing skills in video games.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say even to this day, Super Mario 3 on the NES is like one of the best games there is.
Love it. I still go through every couple of months. I'll go through and I'll play it on Switch with that membership. I'll go through and kind of run through some of the worlds and just kind of relive that, you know.
There was actually a really cool thing in Celeste. I don't know if you've played Celeste yet. But if not, you should. But they had an Easter egg on it on one of the levels where you had to hold down on a white block to go into the background, like you had to do on Super Mario 3 to get the walk whistle. And I was like, man,
Yeah.
I was like, that was
yeah, I guess that first world you can get 3 or 4 warps and go right to pretty much the end of the game.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, just noticed, CK. The Discord format on your stream is perfect because we're facing towards the centre on our side, and Megan Venom are also facing the centre on their side.
Yeah.
It's like we're all talking to each other.
Right.
Yeah, have a genuine chat room.
No. But no, Megan, what games did you start with?
Okay, so like how I got into gaming was gonna be part of my story.
Oh,
that
well,
are we at the story part or not yet?
No, we'll save it then. We'll wait. I'll tell you mine, and then we'll segue into the story part. This seems like a natural time to do it.
Perfect.
Okay, so the first game, I don't know if this was exactly the first game I played, but like I used to play when I was about 2. I used to play the Sega and the SNES at my babysitters. So I remember like the Aladdin game on the SNES. And there was like a Mickey Mouse game that I can never remember what it's called on the Sega Mega Drive, and like the original Sonic. Those were kind of like the first few games I remember playing. But the first game I owned when I was 3, my parents brought me a SNES because I guess I was playing like games with my babysitters so much, with like the original Donkey Kong Country on it. And it came with like this big poster of Donkey, which I had up in my bedroom for ages, but like its eyes used to glow in the dark and it used to really scare me. Like it was fine in the daytime. I was like, hey, it's Donkey Kong and he's cool. And then at night I was like, oh my god, it's just these eyes. Those are hard games.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Like old platform games were fucking difficult, especially the fact you didn't get any save points or like anything. It was tough. But yeah, that's how I started. Okay, so we'll move on to the last part of our chat show where everyone brings along a little story to tell you. But before that, again, what is a chat show without ad breaks? So, hey everyone, as I mentioned earlier, in 2 weeks is my 2-year anniversary on Twitch. I'm going to be doing my first ever subathon for it. It's going to be on Saturday the 23rd? Yes, Saturday the 23rd. Starting at 9 PM, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing, but it's going to be fun, and there'll be lots of things if people want to do subs and stuff, and to fit in with my channel's whole vibe, it's going to be called the Spread the Wholesome Subathon, which means anytime anybody gifts a sub while they're there, they get to shout out somebody that they like, and I will constantly be talking about all the other streamers that I really like and trying to spread the whole good vibe. And it's going to be a really fun time, and we'll play some games, and it'll be good. So look forward to that. But hey, Megan, you want to tell us about a story of how you got into gaming?
Yay, a story. I wasn't sure what type of story we were supposed to do, so I just decided to go with gaming story.
Sure, whatever story you want.
So when I was a kid, my dad used to build PCs, which I think was kind of rare back then because they were kind of expensive, and you had like most people who had PCs were just really nerdy.
Mm-hmm.
Or who built PCs were really, really nerdy. Like now it's pretty common to build your own PC, but back then it was not. So he would just go around and like pick up like spare parts from people whose computers stopped working or whatever. We didn't really have enough money to have consoles or whatnot back then, but we did have like a couple PCs. And so my first game I ever played was Commander Keen, which my community knows probably this whole story, but I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of Commander Keen before?
No.
I have not.
Hold on, I have to look it and see when it came out.
While she's looking that up, should we all take a guess on how many years before Chris was born this came out?
Well, how about everyone guess what? Well, everyone guess my birthday. Not you, CK, because you're probably going to be the one who gets it the most accurately. Venom, we'll start with you.
Talking about like actual year.
Yeah.
We'll say year and month.
2022. Let's go November of 2002.
Ooh, just I mean, you're not. I mean, both of those guesses were incorrect, but
It's close.
one of those was close. Yes. Megan, what do you think?
Oh,
My mind's going like bad friend can't remember when he's born.
shoot, I didn't even. What was the date that you said, Venom?
So November.
So it's November 2002.
Okay, so you said it's probably, is it November that's close? Maybe then 1999. I don't know.
Also, no, and it was in fact the year that was close.
I was gonna say, aren't you 2001? Because aren't you going to be?
Yes, June
21.
2001. Yeah.
I wouldn't
On the
have got
7th of
June.
June 2001, it'll be my on the 7th of June it'll be my 21st birthday this year.
He's so young.
Wait, when did
Good prize for
Wolfenstein
being
come
close.
out? I'm looking at that now too. Okay, so it came out in 1990. Commander Keen did.
Right. That's the year I was born.
Wolfenstein came out in 1981.
Yeah.
I played that too when I was a kid. But it wasn't my first game. Commander Keen was my first game. And then...
On a similar note to Wolfenstein, I guess it's kind of similar. My first PC game I remember playing was Duke Nukem.
Oh, I played that too when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then after that, once I got I was playing games like really, really, really young. Commander Keen, I feel like you can play when you're really young. But I played Doom. That was my second game. It came out the year I was
Nice.
born. And I played that when I was really young, probably too young to play it because it was scary. Back then it was scary. And I would just play, it was on PC, so we would, we had cheat codes and stuff. I would put it in God mode.
Yeah.
And on the easiest difficulty, which is I'm too young to die, I think. And yeah, I would just run around in God mode, and I would just play with all the biggest guns in the game, and it was hilarious. So those were my first two games, and so I had a brother who was 12 years older than me, and he was really into gaming too. And like I said, I had a bunch of PCs in my house. So I'm trying to think, he bought me Guild Wars when it came out. And I feel like ever since then, I've just been addicted to PC gaming. But I never really, my brother had a console, but he lived with his mom most of the time. So I didn't get to play with it that often. But yeah, that's how I started PC gaming, was with Commander Keen and Doom. And when I was 1 year old.
I mean, I didn't play Doom until I was about maybe 11 or 12 sort of thing. But I remember one of my friends having it. But we did the same thing. We put it on God mode. And then he had the cheat as well, so you could walk through walls. So you didn't need to find any keys or anything. You could just go wherever the fuck you wanted. Or if you wanted, you could just walk miles out of the arena and just find where the data stopped, because you can go through walls.
Yes.
And then we basically decided to try and see how far we could get through the game only using the chainsaw. Because it didn't matter,
Oh my
because
God.
nothing will kill you. So we were just like going up to everything and like, yay, everything dies.
Yes.
Which,
oh my gosh.
you
I
know,
was...
oh, no, sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying I would use the BFG. 'Cause
Yes.
we like, because I was in God mode, I could just like get the big guns and stuff like that and run around with the BFG the whole game. It's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, I think like sort of now I realize how like that is just not the point of Doom, because it's supposed to be a really difficult game and you're supposed to get really good at like the constantly moving and shooting and stuff, and I think that's one of the things that I think made Doom 2016 so cool, is that it really like nailed that for like a new modern generation. But yeah, like as a kid it was just like, yeah, God mode, woo! Isn't it gory when I chainsaw stuff? Yay! Blood.
I used to get so scared when I played it when I was a kid because of the demons and everything.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, I would have nightmares, and I was also afraid of the dark. But it's just kind of funny. That's how I got into gaming. And back then, it was like really, like if you were into gaming, it was not cool, especially for girls. Like it was just really not cool for girls. So. But my brother was into gaming, and he was 12 years older than me, and I thought he was like the coolest thing in the whole world because he was so much older than me, you know?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be just like my brother when I get older, so I'm gonna play a bunch of video games. And here we are.
That's cool. We've all learned a bit of like Little Pumpkin Spice backstory now. We know the lore, her origin story.
Lore.
Does anyone else do that? They feel like they don't have memories; they just have lore.
Yeah. like moments in your life where it builds you, basically. Yeah. I think that's every moment in my life.
Look how cool she turned out. Yes, Ryan, I agree, absolutely. Kind of on a similar thing. I mean, like I've sort of said this a lot on my channel. I talk about this all the time. But sort of talking about like games that like help form you and stuff. I always put down Final Fantasy IX as the reason I have empathy. I'm pretty sure that game taught me how to like emote for other people. Like I think it's probably my favorite game ever, possibly because of that reason. But I remember playing it, and it's like the first time thinking, I'm upset because this fictional little dude is upset. Like, or like I'm happy because they're happy. You know, like this is really cool. And now I cry all the time at video games, and I'm sure that's the reason.
Well, that says a lot about me, starting with like Doom.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I think that just means that you're a fucking badass. Like,
Yes. I'm
It
kidding,
is
I'm kidding.
the definition. She is that when the Doom music kicks in meme.
yeah, like I just
Yes.
think. Yeah, she's just sitting there listening. Like we've got the industrial music in her headphones. We all think she's just listening to us having a nice chat. She's like,
Yeah.
and like I say, like you know, Final Fantasy IX wasn't by any means where I started with gaming. Like I say, I was playing Mortal Kombat from like the age of 5, so I mean, I wouldn't worry too much. Although I've been told I can't show the modern Mortal Kombat games to my child. Like it was different back then. That they weren't so gory.
It was so different back then. Like I was playing WoW with my nephew recently, and his mom was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like he can't play this anymore. It's inappropriate." And I was like, "Man, I played this game. I played WoW like the year it came out."
Yeah, I mean that's only a 12 rated game. It can't be that bad.
Yeah, but I feel like back in the day with video games, parents didn't really like think about, I guess, how it impacts you psychologically
Yeah.
with like the gore or themes or whatnot.
Even then, like with the original Mortal Kombat, like
The original
they
Mortal.
had
What?
they had a lot of controversy around
Yeah.
Sub-Zero's fatality, didn't they?
Yes, Sub-Zero's, because yes, he pulls the guy's head out on its spine still. But yeah, the original Mortal Kombat is the reason that games now have an age rating at all.
Yeah.
And I had that game when I was 5.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The reboots, all 3 of them.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
now I play Stardew Valley, so. I don't
well,
know.
that's it. So maybe that's it. Like you started off on like a hyper violent game, and then we're like, well, I need to find something more chill in my life.
Yeah.
I can't be dealing with this shit anymore. But no, thank you for sharing though. That's really cool. Chris, Venom, who would like to go next?
Do you want to go next, Venom?
Just general game. I guess how gaming has impacted your life. Is that just to repeat the question?
Oh no, it's just about your story that you've brought today.
Every time.
Say that one more time. Sorry, just making sure.
Just the story you've brought with you, the story about Venom.
Oh, just me and Joe. Okay, that's fair. No, I'll kind of tie that into how gaming has kind of impacted me as well.
Sure.
I remember getting the NES when I was younger. It was a leftover from my brother, and sitting late nights playing Super Mario with him. From Super Mario to Super Nintendo it just kind of gradually grew over time. I think we all have that origin story where we remember sitting down at our first console or our first game, whether it be a handheld or a PC game or Doom or Mortal Kombat, things like that. You have that moment that'll always kind of stick with you. And for me, that was sitting down with my brother when I was younger and playing like Super Mario 3 and things like that. And I guess as gaming has kind of progressed over time and we all grow along with it, throughout the years, I've kind of found myself doing the same thing. I work in a video game store now, for those of you who don't know. My whole life has been based around video games and kind of tech and things like that. But it's cool to now, as a generation, I'm 33 now, but it's cool to have kids come into my store now and they're picking up their very first console, or they're picking up, their first, Mario game on the Switch, or their first something. Like, they help a lot of people with their first somethings. It's a neat little atmosphere to be in terms of consoles and gaming and things like that. But I guess as gaming has progressed, we've all learned something. Like CK said, you learned empathy. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Empathy and how to relate to characters. And we've all grown and learned something from gaming. And I've kind of taken that to a different level throughout life. Is everything I've ever done has come from Venom's lies. He's like 22 max. Thanks, Igzor. I don't know. We kind of relate and carry those things with us, and I think it's a really important lesson to kind of take with you. And I've always grown up on gaming, and obviously it's a part of my life now. And I don't know. I'm not sure if I kind of answered the question or not. It's just gaming, I think, has a core for all of us at some point, which is why we stream. Now.
Yeah. But I get what you mean about the thing, like those moments with your brother. Like, I had those moments too with my brother where, like, he didn't live with me and he was a lot older than me. So, like, those moments that we had gaming together were kind of like the most precious moments that I had in my childhood. You know what I mean? Those were good times.
Yeah, and then now being able to, my daughter, she's 8 now, and her first ever console was a Nintendo Switch, and passing that along, or sitting down and playing a game with her. Trying to get her to beat Super Mario Odyssey. She wants the new Kirby, but I told her she's got to beat Odyssey first. But just the impact that it has to pass it down through generations, or even strangers you meet every day. Gaming is a super powerful thing. I think a lot of people take for granted.
Yeah.
The story of me is appreciate gaming and where it can take you and the escape that it gives you. And I've met all of you guys because of gaming. So.
I think it's art.
Absolutely. Cool. No, that's really awesome. It's nice as well. That must be. I like the idea that you're sitting down going, "No Kirby till you finish your Mario."
Yeah.
It's like no pudding till you have your vegetables.
Yeah.
I was actually saying, like, the other day, it's really weird, like, just because of what game I was sort of playing at the time, like, I guess for like the first couple of months of like Lyra's life, the only really video game she really saw was Dead by Daylight. But it was like
Perfect game to introduce.
But it was like she doesn't take anything in at this age, and like when she was like that small, she'd just sit on your lap, and like you don't need to entertain her because she's just like everything is interesting. And, like, it's different now. I couldn't just sit down and play a video game. I know it sounds stupid. Like, she's only 4 months. Like, it should be 5 months next week, but like. I don't know, like, you now actually have to do things with her or she'll be bored and angry. So I can't just...
As she gets a little bit older, what's the first game you want to kind of introduce her to?
Oh, I don't...
Take a pick.
I don't know. I mean, maybe like Super Mario World, like so like the one on the SNES, because that's like my sort of go-to Mario. Maybe that would be really cool. Or like Donkey Kong Country, because it was like where I started. Or I don't know. I mean, she's like Katie's just started picking up Animal Crossing again, so like I mean that would be quite a good one to sort of start a child on. Maybe or
Which one's the one with the DK rap? Is it Donkey Kong 64 or Donkey Kong Country?
64.
Oh, there's 64.
Yeah.
I mean, if you introduce her to that, and the first thing she sees is the DK rap.
I've actually never played Donkey Kong 64. It was like super hard to get in this country. Like, it had a really limited run. I don't know anyone who's got it.
That explains why I've never seen it.
Which is a real shame, because like all three of the Donkey Kong Country games on the SNES are like amazing. But I don't know. Possibly like Spyro might be a good like first one as well. I know like that was Katie's first game. And obviously like we've got the Reignited trilogy. So something like that might be quite cool. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Maybe Pokemon. That's also like quite a good one. I don't know. Like I guess she might not even be interested. I mean, I guess we've got a couple of years before. I don't know. I'm more interested in actually like getting her into board games more so than video games. I think. You know, like yo, let's sit down. Let's like play some like Settlers of Catan or something like Dixit or Monopoly.
I'm so excited for D&D with my kid. Like,
yeah, that'd be amazing.
Some Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, absolutely! Like,
it would be awesome.
I really I've been thinking I haven't done a tabletop like Discord tabletop RPG in my Discord for ages. I really want to get some more Sexy Battle Wizards going because that game's fucking amazing. Like, if anyone ever wants to be a Sexy Battle Wizard, please hit me up and I will absolutely make you into a Sexy Battle Wizard.
Sounds
I have
good.
a bunch of D&D dice. I'm just waiting for the right.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the right party.
I saw you and Kel was talking about this on your podcast the other day. That neither of you have ever played D&D.
I would love to get a D&D campaign going.
I would be really up for it, and I would absolutely do it, but I just don't have the time to commit to a campaign right now. Which is why I think like if anyone wants to do like a one-shot RPG, like I'll happily run like Sexy Battle Wizards, like say, or like Reverse Beastmaster is one I really enjoy. I've got the rules for Honey Heist and I still haven't played it, so if anyone wants to ever do one of those, like absolutely let me know and I'll run it. But I can't commit to being like, hey, I'm going to be free every 2 weeks to play a game, like, because yeah, unfortunately it's just not viable right now. Chris, do you want to hear us up with your story? For story time.
Yeah, at first this is going to be quite a short, brief story, but considering we've had two stories about how gaming can shape you and how it can affect you, I feel like that has actually just given me the idea of how I can just like continue that thread on with my story.
Go for it.
So obviously we said that video games, but gaming in general, it could be video games, it could be board games, tabletop RPGs, it could be card games. Like, there's always a lesson to learn with gaming, and a few of them, like, that I can think of is obviously, like, Lucas is my best friend. Like, we grew up, we knew each other since we were 3, and we've grown up together. And through that, growing up for me personally, I've learned a lot about defeat, because no matter if it's chess or Monopoly, or if it's Call of Duty, he always is better at me at something. So, like, what I learned when playing a lot of Monopoly, especially, and chess, that I'm just there's always a chance that I'm going to lose. Like, and defeat is not something that's like, to truly be defeated. It is not losing; it is giving up. So, no matter how many times we played Monopoly, no matter how many times we played chess, it always kept trying. And it also taught me adaptability, because one time I decided to go for the most cowardly tactic in chess, which is just go backwards and forwards until Lucas made a move that would actually play into my hands. And I eventually beat him. Like, after about, 2 years of various chess games, I finally beat him. To this day, he still beats me at Monopoly, whether it be in board game fashion or online fashion. he still beats me at that. And I still can't find a way to beat him. It's because
the trick in Monopoly is to get the oranges.
I mean, yeah, it is. But when he gets the oranges first, that's when the problems start. And you just have to relentlessly trade.
Yeah.
Has to be like, okay, I'm going to offer this trade to you. Are you going to reject it? Okay, I'm going to offer this trade to you. You have to wear him down.
Trading is a move for the desperate.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, and honestly, if there could be a way for me to describe my friendship with Lucas and probably my personality as a whole in 2 words, it would be chaotic neutral. Because it's more of a have fun by any means necessary kind of friendship that we grew up with. And one of those, I said earlier with Cool G, how he placed a bet over half of £5. In this regard, it's also about trick shotting. But I had a trampoline when I was younger. It was just mess about, do whatever would be considered fun on there. At one point, he got my shoe. He'd full on discused it with 360 and threw it. It accidentally went over the fence. So there's this there's probably this hilarious mental image that I've got in my head where I actually go. It's not over the fence as in just around the corner. It's over the fence. I have to make a 3 to 5 minute walk. Barefoot, well, with socks on, but with no shoes on, while he's there with me, going to a neighbour's house, knocking on the door, saying, hey, my shoes gone over your fence. They let us in, and it managed to precisely get in the middle of a empty flower pot. No, it didn't knock it over. It looks like, from where we observed it, he threw it over and it landed perfectly inside a flower pot that was completely empty. And
I was convinced you were going to say it landed perfectly in the middle of a pond.
Imagine if it did. But yeah, it was in the middle of a straight in the middle of a flower pot. It didn't even look like it touched the sides. It was just stuck in there, and then I had to put the shoe on and then leave and pretend that the situation never happened. So that's the short story that I was going to initially say, but that just shows how much a game can affect you for better and for worse. Where or just for fun, you make up your own fun because you've played a lot of video games and you're doing it in real life, and you accidentally cause something as odd as that to happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that is the big takeaway that we can have, is just that you can criticize certain video games for certain aspects that they don't have, but at the end of the day, if they are teaching you a way, teaching you something that nothing else has, and if they are causing you to have fun in ways outside of said video games, then where's the harm really? That's my take on it.
Yeah. Right. If you learn a lesson or if you have fun, either way it's value. It's worthwhile.
Actually.
Cool. So I guess then, in sort of time-honored tradition, I will finish with my story then. So I wanted to try and bring a fun story this time. The last couple of chat shows I've done, I brought quite serious stories along. The first one I was hey, this is how I got diabetes. And then the last one was hey, this is how I proposed. So I was hey, let's try and do something really silly this time. So I thought I'd tell you all about how I technically have a criminal record in Italy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Great hell.
Right? Which sounds really interesting, but this will be the most mundane story, but I have to give it that opening title to catch your attention. So for Katie's 25th birthday, I decided to take her to Italy. I thought that would be a really cool thing to do for a big landmark birthday and stuff. She likes holidays. Well, we went to Lake Garda for the week, because that's the part of Italy that's so nice. That's where all the Italians and Germans go on holiday. So the whole week we were there, I think we only ever saw one other English person. It was mostly just Italians and Germans, and it's insanely hot. As a word of advice, don't go to Italy in July. It's too hot. right? Like at night time it was 39 degrees. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit to help you out, but like to Chris, he'll know that's hot.
Yeah, that is like, even if it wasn't humid, you'd be melting.
Right. And like there was a big like digital thermometer like on one of the buildings down the road from our hotel, and in the day it just said 45 plus. Like it's like so hot the thermometer doesn't know how hot it is. Like, but
Get over here!
James Shepherd, thank you for getting over here and joining in the fun. Much appreciated. Hope you're having a great whatever day this is. Sunday.
Still Sunday for us, yeah.
Still Sunday. But yeah, we like one of the days we went to Verona because that was like the nearest city, and obviously it's got like the Romeo and Juliet is set there, and you can go to like the house and see all the stuff. Like, and there's a big statue of Juliet. You're supposed to kiss for good luck and stuff, and you can go up and stand on the balcony, and like she did that, and I could stand underneath and be like, ha, and it's all fun. And we got to go see a Colosseum and all this stuff, and it was nice. There was like things to do. I've never drunk more water in a day in my entire life. It was ridiculously hot, but it was fun, and it was, it was nice and touristy. But we decided to get the train down there from like the little town we were staying in. We could get the train. It was only like a 20-minute train journey. Did that. We went to the train station, and we were queuing up to get our tickets. And then like the woman who was like doing the tickets was like the slowest person at serving people ever. It was ridiculous. We were in this queue for ages. And then she even, while there was still a queue, just closed the thing and just went on like lunch for half an hour. And then came back and started selling people tickets again. And we were like, seriously, come on, we just want to get on the train. But eventually we managed to get a ticket. Went and did our thing. Had a nice day of touristy stuff. Got on the train back. And then like, while we were on the train back, the guard came around to check tickets, sort of normal train thing. Looked at our tickets and was like, these aren't valid tickets. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, we brought them like from the ticket office, normal sort of thing. And he was like, nope.
Get over here!
MF Wayner, thank you for getting over here and joining in the fun. Much appreciated. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Bullheaded man. I know he doesn't have a hat on today. It's weird, isn't it? I remember actually there was a big thing like a couple of months ago where I remember going to Venom stream and it was the first time I'd seen him without a hat, and I was like, I didn't know you were bald. I've just always seen him with a hat.
You guys made him put the hat on.
I'm sorry.
Man.
How dare thee.
But yeah, and he was just like, your train tickets aren't valid, and I was like, why? Because I brought them. I paid for them. I've got a receipt. And he was like, yeah, but after you buy them, you have to put them into like a ticket machine on the platform to validate them, which is not a thing we have to do in England. And nobody had told me that this was a thing I had to do. So even though I brought a ticket like you're supposed to, because I hadn't validated it, he was like, it's not a real ticket. And then he fined me for not being on the train without a ticket. And then I had to buy another ticket after that was actually validated. So that's how we technically broke the law in Italy. Because nobody told us we had to validate train tickets after buying them.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's
Right?
good to know.
Yeah.
It's just like
That's good to know.
it's just like the weirdest system I've ever heard.
Yeah, like I don't understand the system. How much did you get fined, if you don't mind me asking?
I think for me and Katie, because obviously I suppose technically we both got fined, but like I paid for it all. I think it was about like €15, so like €750 each or something. It wasn't a lot.
That's not too bad. So I was thinking when you said fine, like I was thinking anything beyond like 20 quid's worth would be excessive for a genuinely innocent mistake.
But I mean,
only their country thing to do.
But like we did get given a ticket. I did keep it for a while. I think when we moved out of our flat, we lost it between the flat and this house. But we did keep it for a while. And it's like, this is your proof of being fined and like breaking the law. And I was like, yay! It's a pretty cool thing. It's not the sort of souvenir everybody has. So yeah, that's how we technically broke the law in Italy.
Rap sheet now.
Yeah, that's it. It was a slippery slope. Since then, we've just like gone into like trafficking and like hard drugs, and it's been really like downhill. And
Yeah.
It all started with a train ticket.
yeah, I did the right thing. I brought my ticket. Ah! And then it just made me too angry, and then it was a dark path. You know what they say,
That
like
was the origin story.
yeah, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to darkness. Cool. Well, thanks everyone for coming along. Do you want to take a minute to like each talk about what you're doing on your channels at the moment? What are you streaming? What's going on? Where can people find you and all that stuff? Do you want to go around the circle?
Wait, is that Chris starting?
Chris can start, and then you can.
Okay, we're going anti-clockwise.
Sure, we're weird. Let's do that.
Yeah, why not? We are chaotic neutral. Or I'm chaotic neutral. Why not? So you'll find me at Outcast_Chris on Twitch, at OutcastChris07 on Twitter, and just OutcastChris on YouTube. Plan-wise, my next stream will be tomorrow at 3 PM BST time. I'm still getting used to the time zone change. My 18 months on Twitch is actually on the 28th this month. So I'm going to do something for that stream-wise. I'm thinking about doing a Mario Kart like big online with fellow streamers. So you three are very much welcome to join. We can, if you want to join, and we can organise something from there. I also have the Wanted Streaming podcast at the end of the month. At some point, I still need to contact the person that I've chosen for this month to get everything sorted. I'll make sure that everything is updated on my Twitter and on my Discord. So if you also want to join my Discord, then just do !Discord in my channel. Yeah, thank you very much for having me, CK.
No worries, thanks for being here. Wouldn't that be really cool if at some point in the future you two ended up on like Chris's podcast?
I mean, I'm not saying anything, but call me Dr. Van der Lind, because I have a plan.
Venom, what are you up to on stream? Where can people find you?
Hey, obviously, my name is We2RVenom. You'll find me on Twitch as we get back into a normal schedule, most weeknights around 8 PM Eastern Time, about 4 nights a week. Here recently, we've gotten into Elden Ring streams, which I think we're wrapping up. I've kind of put a lot of personal time into that one. We typically play games such as Elden Ring, Assassin's Creed. You'll find some more multiplayer games, Apex. I want to try the Fortnite no-build mode. It's kind of the hype right now, so I want to give it a shot. I've got to beat Halo campaign, play Lego Star Wars, all kinds of cool goodies. I have a bit of a reputation for not finishing games, but we do try a lot of them. So if you don't feel like watching the same game continuously, I'll play lots of things all the time. My most active platform is Twitter. You'll usually catch me ranting and raving on there, or talking to someone and showing love within that platform. No, check it out. Love to have you. And then CK, shout out to you, sir, for having me. I greatly, greatly appreciate you, sir.
No worries. You're a great guy. It's nice to have you here. Megan, where can people find you, and what are you up to?
Well, yeah, obviously on Twitch. I stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays most of the time. At 3 PM Central Time. So it's kind of nice because then my UK and US friends can all join around that time. And I'm also on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram. My Instagram is little.pumpkin.spice. I think I'm most active on Instagram, probably. I play Heroes of the Storm, like we talked about earlier. I play Stardew Valley. That's like, you know, my more cozy stream. HOTS is my more toxic stream. I play Fall Guys, which is my community stream. I'm trying to think. Oh, what other games do I play?
And loads of Phasmo, right?
Oh my god. Okay, I do have some spooky nights because I'm afraid of scary games. But sometimes I have a spooky night, but that's rare. So if you're in it for horror, then, you know, you'll be disappointed. Yeah, so I mean, I just really like to have fun and like talk to people. as much as possible. So my stream is pretty chatty. Like we all like to talk a lot, and just chill and hang out. So
Cool. Alright then. Cool. I guess the only thing left for us to do then is to wrap it up a bit. So yeah, again, thank you for all of you for being on. Thank you everyone who's been hanging out in chat. It's much appreciated. Like I say, these chat shows are kind of like my big project for this year, so the fact that they get support really means a lot to me. And if you want to see what I'm doing, you don't have them already, here are the socials. You can check out, you can follow on Twitter for updates on what I'm up to. You can check out past VODs on YouTube. I'm currently uploading my Ghostwire Tokyo Guardians of the Galaxy playthroughs onto them, and I still need to put out the last episode of the Celeste playthrough, which I haven't done yet. But they're all going up on there. Or there's the Discord if you want to join and chat in between streams. Cool. But yeah, thanks everyone for being on. Thank you for watching. We'll do a raid now to introduce you to one final, I guess, new friend. We're going to spread some love. I was thinking, because I've never been able to raid her before, we could go raid Tabby. That would be cool. She's playing some Pokemon Snap at the moment, so I guess it's a pretty chill stream for her. Just going to make sure I've spelled her name right. I have not.
wait, you have a raid message thing, right?
I do.
Yes.
Yes, if you do exclamation mark raid or exclamation mark sub raid. Cool, got it to that then. There you go. If people want to copy the raid message to take over, there's the raid message or sub raid message, depending on what you are. Even if you can't stay and hang out, if you could just do a quick hey how are you, it always makes people feel nice. Tabby's really awesome. You know, definitely somebody you'll enjoy hanging out with. Like I say again, thank you everyone for being here. You know, it's much appreciated. I'll next be streaming next Saturday around 11 PM UK time. We'll be doing some more Ghostwire Tokyo. But for now, bye, and remember, spread the wholesome.